Hey, and what is going on, everybody? It is Zero here, back with some more Diablo action. I know it's been a long time. I've just been kind of burnt out on Diablo, and I don't even know if I'm really back full time right now. Um, but today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Helltooth dungeon. I know we covered it briefly during PTR, but now we're going to be talking about the build I used to defeat it, to gain the mastery for it, get, the nice banner stuff, and so on. So let's look at the skills first. We're going to just go over this real quick, guys, because it's more about the gameplay, I suppose, and the gear, and let's just breeze through this. You're really only going to be using a handful of skills here, okay? You're not going to be using your primary at all. You don't want to use your generator. You don't want to accidentally kill anything with that when you're going for killing the 20 mobs with one wall of death 4 times. You want to make sure like that's like one of the first things you go for, because that's the most difficult of the accomplishments you have to do within it. Okay, so we're going to be using Wall of Death. We're using the Cold Rune, Communing with Spirits. This has a really, really large area of effect in comparison to all the other Walls of Death, and it straight up works best for this challenge. Acid Cloud I use just for plopping down on stragglers, so I don't have to run all the way back and whatnot. It works pretty well at cleaning those guys up. Hex Angry Chicken, this is a mobility tool, guys. We're going to be using that with the Marijuma's 2-piece set for very fast chicken movement speed and being able to dart through the dungeon as quickly as possible. Piranhas, I didn't use it even one time, but whatever the hell you want there. Definitely don't put any pets, though. You don't want any pets in this build, okay, because you don't want them to be killing things when you're trying to kite them into one big pack so that you can blow up 20 of them at once with a Wall of Death. Okay, you don't want any pets going, guys. Spirit Walk Severance. Severance increase your movement speed by an additional 100% while in Spirit Realm. That's very important for this, okay, guys? We're going to be using that in conjunction with one of the mojos in the cube so that we have extremely fast movement speed. So that will give us not 1, but 2 very good mobility tools here. And speed is the name of the game when you're in this dungeon. If you want to complete all the objectives within, you really need to be moving fast, especially once you get towards the end of killing all the enemies. You're definitely going to miss 1 or 2. Definitely. I mean, I think I did this thing like 20 times, and every single time I was struggling because I couldn't get around fast enough to find the stragglers, and that's when I opted to go with Marijuma's instead of the Suwong, which I was trying to use. Passives I used was Spirit Vessel, Gruesome Feast, Swampland Attunement, and Confidence Ritual. Gear-wise, guys, obviously you need the 6 pieces of Helltooth. Okay. Also, we're going to be using the Marijuma's Gory Fetch and Carving Knife. This is going to give us the super fast chicken. Very good mobility tool. We're obviously going to be using Focus and Restraint, giving us huge damage increase, obviously. Pretty much put on whatever bracers you want. It's very important to note, guys, that you do not drop 3 Walls of Death ever. Don't do it, okay? Because if you do, it's gonna happen. Say you drop 1 and you kill like 5 enemies with it, right? But then you had another one that you dropped and that one killed an enemy. It doesn't stack, right? The kill 20 enemies with 1 Wall of Death doesn't stack when using the Jarrett Bracers. It has to be 1 single cast, not the multiple. So you can have them on, which I did when I did it, but only drop 1 at a time, okay? To deal with the poison affix within the set dungeon, you can't take any poison damage in this. You're going to run a Mirror's Kaleidoscope, obviously with the best roll you can possibly find, so that you have lots of damage output. You don't want a crappy Mirror's Kaleidoscope, or that's going to make it a little more difficult for you in terms of damage output. Make sure you take off your Belt of Transcendence. Like I said, you don't want any pets, okay, because they will interfere, they will kill mobs, and it'll make it harder for you to be able to blow up 20 with the Wall of Death 4 times. So just put on like a Witching Hour for maximizing your damage output during this, okay, guys? In the cube, let's take a look at the cube, guys. Over here, we used I can't even say that. Shurkrani's Triumph, okay? Spirit Walk lasts until you attack or until an enemy is within 30 yards of you. This is really useful in this because, like I said, you have a time limit. You really need to be able to move quickly between packs of enemies, and especially at the end when you're definitely going to have to go back. And if you don't have to go back, you're better than I am, clearly, because every single time I attempted this, I had to go back and find 1 or 2 stragglers. So this helps a lot, because if you get to that point and you have like 2 enemies left and you have like 40 seconds left on the clock, this is going to let you spirit walk through the entire map until you find those enemies. Okay, I use the illusionary boots to move unhindered through enemies, which makes it just a little bit easier to kite them all together. You can run through them and just pull them into one big pack and blow them up with your wall of death, and then the convention of elements for more damage. Okay, guys? So basically the deal here, guys, is that you just want to you know, maximize your speed when you're in here, kiting enemies until you've done the kill 20 enemies with 1 wall of death 4 times. So get that out of the way as quickly as possible, and then just run your ass off through this dungeon and kill everything as quickly as possible. And that's that. The one for killing enemies without taking fatal damage will pretty much come without trying. And if you have the Mirror's Kaleidoscope, taking no poison damage is a breeze, obviously. If you're doing it without Mirror's Kaleidoscope, it's going to be very difficult, and you're going to have to be very mindful of where you're moving and where you're positioning yourselves. And to be quite honest with you, it's just too much of a pain in the butt. If you don't have a Mirror's Kaleidoscope, start looking for one, man. Start crafting legendary amulets with the cube. And start gambling on legendary amulets with Kadala to try and get yourself one. Even a bad one is going to be better than nothing, and it will really help you breeze through this much easier. I should also mention you should probably take off your follower, which I did as well. You don't want your follower getting in the way and pulling mobs off your kite. You really want everything in big groups while you're trying to get, again, the killing 20 enemies with 1 wall of death. Once you wrap your head around the best way to do it, it's pretty easy to accomplish. You just gotta be mindful that you need to be really quick. You definitely need to use the ice or the cold wall of death because it has a massive AoE in comparison to everything else. And yeah, so that's that, guys. That's how I did the Helltooth dungeon. I'm gonna be going for the other ones at some point. In terms of Season 5, I think I am going to play Season 5, probably just not as hardcore as I did the last few seasons. And I think I'm also going to play Demon Hunter for the season. I'm not sure, though. Maybe Wizard, I don't know. I might just re-roll one of my current Witch Doctors back over into the season. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to see me play something a little different than Witch Doctor for a change. The new melee witch or demon hunter is looking pretty cool to me, but wizard's looking pretty badass again, so I might want to do that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking around during my what seems like a month-long absence. Just haven't been into the game lately. Really burnt out on it. Burnt out on YouTube a little bit, actually, to be honest with you. So I've been playing my PS4, you know, playing some Uncharted Collection, playing some Battlefront, and having a good time with that. But I'm back. So thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.